Traffic volumes are expected to start increasing again ahead of the New Year's Eve. Authorities in various provinces have been warning motorists to remain vigilant on the road and to comply with the rules of the road. For more on this, we're now joined by Zwane, who's a spokesperson for the Road Traffic Management Corporation. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Zwane. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. How are the roads looking from your side?
Well, it's fairly quiet today on the roads. We're expecting that there will be an increase in traffic volumes on Friday, as people will be making last-minute travel to, particularly on the entry to the holiday destinations in Durban. And thereafter, they will be traveling back on the Sunday and Monday. So we expect that there will be heavy traffic on those days.
What lessons have you learned with the rush for Christmas about what you might expect just before New Year's Eve?
Yeah, what we have seen is that there are many people who are intent on breaking the rules of the road. Have been traveling late at night. So we will also adjust our plans to have as many officers possible at night, because we've seen that many of the crashes have happened at night this year. So we want to also prevent that. And people have been using other roads other than the national roads, and would like to really warn them when using regional roads that those roads are sometimes full of potholes, and if you are not used to driving on those roads, please try and remain on the national roads. It helps us. But if we have to travel on those roads, make sure that you travel during the day when you'll be able to see the potholes and be able to anticipate other problems on the roads.
You talk about a number of accidents happening at night. Are people breaking the curfew then?
Yes, there have been people breaking the curfew. We've seen accidents happening around 1 a.m., 4 a.m. Those are curfew times, and those have been major crashes where 5 or more people have died. So we've seen that happening, and we really advise people to travel during the day. It is safer to do that. You are able to see everything on the road, and you are able to anticipate problems and react accordingly.
We know that alcohol is a major concern. Has that been a factor so far?
It's been a big factor. Alcohol has been, drunken driving has been a big contributor to the number of arrests made this year. So far, we've arrested more than 3,500 people. Majority of them has been for drunken driving and speeding. So again, we are going to a very tricky New Year's Day, long weekend, and we know alcohol consumption will be high. We will also be on the roads within suburbs, within townships, and on the national roads to ensure that we deal with that. So we will have operations and roadblocks around the clock in those areas to ensure that we have less number of people driving under the influence of alcohol.
All right. So just to warn the public, without giving locations, obviously, but you will be out in full force, the main roads, the back roads, everywhere, to make sure that people are abiding by the rules.
On the national roads, in the townships, in the suburbs, we will be stopping drivers and testing them for alcohol. We'll also be looking at the roadworthiness of vehicles. So far, more than 2,300 vehicles have been discontinued because they were unroadworthy. Other vehicles have been impounded. So we will be keeping a vigilant eye over this weekend to ensure that when people come back, they come back safe and they can resume work and resume their life beyond the festive season.
In the next few days, which are the times that you're most concerned about? I guess New Year's Eve and the hour after that is a big concern. And then obviously when people start coming back from the provinces.
Yes, we are concerned about New Year's Eve. The New Year's Eve festivities sometimes involve the spinning of cars and then pedestrians get knocked down as a result of that. So we are concerned about that. We are concerned about traveling, long distance traveling with people seeking to go and have the start of the new year along the coast particularly. So we will guard that road, and we are concerned about the 2nd of December and the 3rd when people will be now traveling back home after the holidays.
What is your advice to motorists that they have one designated driver who doesn't drink any alcohol at all?
It helps to have maybe even 2 drivers depending on the distance that they're traveling. If they're going to be traveling long distance, it helps to have two drivers to help each other on the road when fatigue starts setting in. But to avoid alcohol, those drivers should not drink before the journey and during the journey. And we advise in long distance travel that people should take regular rest stops to deal with fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue has always been a problem, isn't it? Particularly on the traffic coming back from the holiday destinations.
Yeah, it is a big problem. When people start coming back, they are relaxed. Sometimes after long days of festivities and late nights, and then fatigue sets in when they start traveling back home. So it helps to have maybe 2 people who are not drinking. Have plenty of water to replenish your system. You avoid dehydration as you drive along, and that also assists.
And I suppose weather is also something that you'll be watching out for. When the roads are wet, we tend to see people not understanding things like braking distance.
Yeah, the weather is a big challenge over this festive season. It's been raining for 3 weeks non-stop, and that has also resulted in a bridge being washed out on the R61 in the Eastern Cape. So there's going to be a challenge as that route links the Eastern Cape with the Western Cape. So there'll be a challenge there. People should anticipate that when they plan their traveling, because they'll be delayed. They'll have to take alternative routes. So they must plan for those delays. But it may be raining as they come back. So they must increase that following distance, decrease the speed at which they're traveling, and be on the lookout for other motorists and other pedestrians who may be on the road at the time.
Simon Zwane, thank you very much indeed for that update. Thank you for your time. That's Simon Zwane from the Road Traffic Management Corporation warning us that please be careful on the roads. The traffic police will be out in full force on all the roads, the bigger ones, the smaller ones, the suburbs, townships, to make sure that you are safe and that people are complying with the rules of the road, and also make sure that your car's roadworthy as well. They'll be checking that as well.